With a boatload of infectious party rock anthems, a fun look, and a fantastic live show, why were the UK glam rockers Slade never fully embraced in America? Coming up next on Music Meanderings. Slade is a British rock band formed in 1966, but it wasn't until the glam rock scene in the early 70s that they really skyrocketed to super status in the UK with 17 consecutive top 20 hits. 17. Yeah, and 6 number ones on the UK singles chart. In fact, British Hit Singles and Albums publication names them the most successful British group of the 1970s based on the sales of their singles. Now, lead singer Noddy Holder and bassist Jim Lee wrote most of those hits. Slade was the first act to have 3 singles enter the charts at number 1. But here in America, now, if you're like me, listening to rock radio in the Midwest, the first you heard of Slade was perhaps in the 80s, courtesy of Quiet Riot and their cover of Come On Feel the Noise and Mama We're All Crazy Now. Now, I still didn't know the original versions, though, and this is before the internet, so you couldn't just hop online and check them out on YouTube. In 1974, the band started a movie about a fictional band named Flame. The film, Slade and Flame, received mixed reviews because it showed a darker side of the band, and it reportedly confused some fans. I own that soundtrack album. It's a very good album, by the way. By 1975, the band decided to move on to America to try to establish a better connection there. They toured the U.S. for much of 75 and 76, opening up for heavy hitters like Aerosmith, ZZ Top, and Black Sabbath. And they had some live success in major cities around the country, but they still weren't being played on U.S. radio. Slade returned to the U.K. in 1977, right when punk rock was getting fired up, and they were dropped from Polydor Records. They just didn't have that sound, of course, that people were looking for at that time. In 1980, due to a last-minute Ozzy Osbourne cancellation at the massive Reading Festival, the band got to perform in front of 65,000 rock fans. It rejuvenated their career in the UK and put them back in the limelight. Singer Noddy Holder was even contacted in November of 1980 as a possible replacement for AC/DC's Bon Scott. He explains.
I was never close to leaving Slade. No, Slade was always my first love, and apparently AC/DC did, make an approach to me to join. But I was never close to leaving Slade. Slade was my baby, it was my thing. I was never going to leave the band and leave the others in the lurch.
The 1983 success of Quiet Riot's cover of Slade's hit Come On Feel the Noise led them to signing their first American deal since the 70s, and they finally enjoyed some decent chart success in the U.S. with those 2 big 1984 MTV hits, Run, Runaway. That hit number 20 on the Billboard charts, and the follow-up My Oh My, stalling at number 37. The album, Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply, that was a repackaged version of their UK release, The Amazing Kamikaze Syndrome. It made it all the way to number 33 on the Billboard album chart. The band certainly wasn't unknown to everyone in the States, and they were influential to many up-and-coming rock groups in the 70s. In a 2011 article in ultimateclassicrock.com, Gene Simmons of Kiss says they were huge fans of British rock, and he claims their breakthrough hit Rock and Roll All Night is actually a ripoff of Mama We're All Crazy Now. Dee Snider admits Slade were a big influence with Twisted Sister, and that led to their hit We're Not Gonna Take It. Cheap Trick cites Slade as one of their big influences, and they even covered Merry Christmas Everybody on their excellent 2017 holiday release, Christmas, Christmas. Now, speaking of that Christmas classic, it was recorded in 1973 to follow up on two Slade back-to-back chart #1 hits in the UK. The song charted in Britain and every year in the early 80s, again in 1998, and every year since 2006. And a 2007 poll, it was voted the UK's most popular Christmas song, but it still is virtually unplayed in America. Slade singer Noddy Holder has referred to the song as his little pension plan due to its continuing popularity and the yearly royalties it generates. It's estimated the little ditty generates about £500,000 in royalties per year. Merry Christmas indeed. Meanwhile, band leader Noddy Holder is a household name in the UK and was even awarded an MBE in 2000 for his contributions to music. According to the 1999 BBC documentary It's Slade, the band has sold more than 50 million records worldwide. Dave Hill and Don Powell from the original lineup remained in the group until 2000 when Hill fired Powell from the band. Hill still performs with his version of Slade, and Powell has formed the Don Powell Band, featuring two members of Slade from their 1990s second lineup. Multi-instrumentalist and original Slade bassist Jim Lee appeared on the Don Powell Band cover version of My Sharona, and in 2024, Lee released a new single, All I Want Is You. The band has come to terms with not breaking it big in the U.S., and they've enjoyed success virtually everywhere else in the world. And that's Music Meanderings. Thanks for joining us today. Please subscribe and comment, and we'll talk to you again soon.